stimulus class, stimulus control, response, and response class. Examples in this video are made up. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Applied Behavior Analysis Simplified channel. Thank you for watching and for your continued support. If you are new to the channel, welcome and thank you for being here. Please watch the channel trailer to learn more about the content in this channel. To summarize, this channel is based on applied behavior analysis. At the end of this video, I will reveal the topic for the next video. Stay tuned. Learning outcomes. This video will help viewers to memorize and retain stimulus, stimulus class, stimulus control, response, and response class. Define and paraphrase stimulus, stimulus class, stimulus control, response, and response class. After watching the video, viewers will be able to describe and explain stimulus, stimulus class, stimulus control, response, and response class. Discuss stimulus, stimulus class, stimulus control, response, and response class. Stimulus definition. Stimulus is a change in the environment. For instance, a sound, an object, a light, a person. Stimulus is a change in the environment which elicits a response. Let us look at an example. As Mary enters the classroom, the fire alarm in the classroom turns on and Mary screams. The fire alarm turning on is the change in the environment, which is the stimulus. That change causes Mary to scream. The scream is the response that is elicited by Mary. Stimulus. Stimulus is the S in the stimulus response stimulus SRS condition. The antecedent stimulus S elicits the response R, which then evokes the consequence stimulus S. An example of that. The teacher tells the student to raise their hand before responding. Leo raises his hand and answers a question. The teacher compliments Leo saying, "Great job, Leo, raising your hand to answer." Leo raises his hand in the future again. Stimulus. The antecedent in the previous example was the teacher requesting students to raise their hands before giving a response. The elicited behavior by Leo was him raising his hand prior to answering a question. The consequence was teacher complimenting Leo, which increased Leo's future behavior of raising his hand prior to answering. The antecedent stimulus S, teacher's request, a change in the environment, elicited Leo's raising his hand prior to responding. Response R, which led to S, teacher's compliment, that changed Leo's future responding. Again, remember that S stands for stimulus, R for response, and S for stimulus. Here, as you can see, the consequence can also be a stimulus that evokes Leo's future behavior change. Stimulus. One important thing to remember here is that the antecedent elicits a response, and the consequence evokes a response. Another important aspect is that antecedent stimuli, multiple changes in the environment, can be motivational operations, MOs, or discriminative stimuli, SDs, eliciting responses, which are manipulated by the behaviorists or BCBAs to accomplish a socially significant behavior change. MOs can have either an ablative effect or an evocative effect. Stimulus. Let us recap on that. Remember the abolishing operation and the establishing operation. The abolishing operation occurs when a child is satiated with reinforcers and does not want to work to gain a particular reinforcer. The ablative effect occurs when a child plays with a specific toy for a longer time and gets tired of the toy, which we call satiation. The establishing operation occurs when a child has been deprived of the reinforcer for a long time, and he or she wants to work hard to gain that reinforcer and or stimulus. It could also be edibles like food. As an example, if a child did not eat breakfast, she might be eager to work hard to gain a bag of chips. Stimulus. Consequence stimulus, a change in the environment, causes a change in the future behavior occurrence of an individual. Reinforcement and punishment are consequence stimuli examples. As you already know, both reinforcement and punishment can be positive and or negative. Stimulus, a question. Stimulus is a single change in the environment. True or false? Please answer in the comments. Stimulus class. Stimulus class, however, are a group of stimuli, not one single stimulus, causing a change in the environment that share similar elements. There are 4 types: formal, temporal, functional, and arbitrary. Stimulus class definition: formal. This is referring to what the stimuli look like. Could be their color, size, and other features. One key here is that they affect the behavior different ways. Definition: temporal. This is referring to time. Therefore, antecedent and consequence, before the behavior and or after the behavior. Stimulus class definition: functional. This is referring to the function of the behavior. Whatever affects the behavior the same way makes up the functional stimulus class. An example would be that different type of music make you dance. or different kinds of stop signs make you stop, like red lights, hand signals, and stop signs. Definition: arbitrary. This is referring to similar responses that are abated and or evoked by stimuli in a stimulus class, which do not share similar features. For instance, banana and apple are both fruits, but they do not look alike. Stimulus control. As I mentioned in the last video, we will discuss stimulus control. Definition: the behavior occurs and does not occur in the presence and or absence of stimuli. Let's read that again. The behavior occurs and or does not occur in the presence and or absence of some stimuli. If the behavior is reinforced and or not reinforced in the presence and or the absence of a stimuli, that action leads to the behavior being controlled. For example, if a teacher reinforces a student for raising his or her hand, the student will raise his/her hand in the future. If the teacher withholds the reinforcement, the raising hand behavior will decrease in the future. The ability to control that behavior through the manipulation of the environment signifies the stimulus control. The key to remember here is that the antecedent controls the behavior. The teacher's reinforcement comes before the student's behavior. Hence, it is the antecedent and not the consequence that controls the behavior. The reinforcement becomes the SD that controls the future occurrence of the behavior of raising the hand, which can also be called the target behavior. Response. Definition. Response is a specific instance of a behavior. Behavior can be running, and response can be running to get to work without being late. Response is an instance of a behavior. An example in a scenario: John was driving the car. He heard that his wife just had a baby, and John was driving fast to get to the hospital. John was driving the car is a behavior. John was driving the car fast is a response to getting to see his newborn baby. Response class. Definition. Response class is composed of different responses that are serving the same function. Response classes are compiled to represent the human repertoire. The function can be access, attention, escape, and or sensory, automatic. Repertoire is defined as a group of behaviors that a person has. Those behaviors could either be positive and or negative. Different repertoires exist that can be used in different situations. Behaviors in the repertoire can be punished and or reinforced, which either decrease and or increase future occurrences of behavior. An example of a response class would be greeting a person, saying hi, waving, saying hello, or using the slight head nod. All are examples of greeting. Please subscribe to the channel if you found the content valuable and would want to see more. That will help me grow the channel and share with you more vital information within the field of ABA. Thank you for watching. Before saying what the next topic will be, I'm just going to inform you that soon there will be more videos coming up that would be specifying what each terminology in applied behavior analysis means in more specified language. Here's the next topic. It will be based on generalization. Thank you again for watching. Here is the reference list for today.